Hello, women of Dark of the Moon Circle, who have either attended or had the intention of attending. I'm making this video today because I kind of have a big announcement, which is I'm being called to stop hosting the Dark of the Moon Circle that's been going on. Um, I would like to explain why, for me and for you guys, why. Basically, I had this feeling like I wasn't supposed to do the next one, and I couldn't really shake it. So I decided to wait till the night of the full moon. Okay, let me don't put anything out. Let me just kind of wait till the full moon and go from there and ask why. And there was some pretty clear messages that came to me from Spirit. Granted, the messages are clear, but um, it's it's a surprise. I mean, it's definitely a surprise. I didn't know it was only going to be going on for a year. I've been told before, don't get too attached to things. 6 years, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years max for a lot of things in your life, and I know that's part of my plan, but still, I had the intention that as long as there was a need, I would serve in this manner. But what I didn't see at the time was that that's just one piece of the pie. There's always going to be a need for this kind of thing. I really believe. The question is, what am I being called to do? So rather than me saying I'm going to do this, it's my spiritual path has really changed into more of a, okay, I put this application in for a job, whether I get it or not is totally in the will of Spirit, and I trust and I will pray, I would only want this job if it's really for my greater good. And I've always said that with the circle as well. It's part of my intentions. Before I even walk in the room, I have a list of things that I say to myself. And one of them is, that I have to be, that I'm here to serve exactly as I am. And that I'm really not responsible truly for the outcome of each woman's experience. I'm here, everything is goes the way it's supposed to. And I mean, that theme definitely has continued to broaden into major life decisions in my life. So I wanted to explain to you why. Um, just because there were things that I needed to know for myself and that I also wanted to tell you as well. Um, I always put you guys before me, but I feel like the thought process kind of goes a little better if I start with why, because this is a very personal decision at the same time. Personal in the sense of I have attachment to the circle, I have attachment to you all. So um, it kind of ties into the messages for you. So I'm going to begin by saying basically, I'm being called to have faith. You know, I think that's the hardest part is this whole like, I don't understand, I don't know why, I don't know what's coming up. I have hints, but at the end of the day, I have developed this relationship with Spirit over the last 3 years. It has really, it's strengthened, and the communication's a lot stronger. I communicate more with the earth and with Goddess and the Goddess Spirit and the moon and everything. And you know I feel like I was in the process of developing that relationship, and now we have a relationship. And so now it's time for me to just listen. So it's kind of, I'm stepping into a new path of faith where I'm just going, you tell me what to do, not, oh, I want to do this, how do I do it, and does it work with my higher path? And one of the things that I'm going to be doing is going back to working internally, working as a solitary practitioner in some major forgiveness work. All this kind of work really requires to be open-hearted, non-judgmental, compassionate. And I'm not saying I'm not embodying those things a lot of the time, but obviously, I have past trauma, I have hurt and everything like that too. And I have some more self-healing to do that has now come to a point where it's like, okay, well, you've known that you were going to need to do this forgiveness work, ancestral, direct family, past business relations, past relationships. I know, and I've been putting it on the back burner, and it's like, nope. If you want to continue, healing yourself and also helping others heal, it's time to work on that specifically within yourself by yourself. And maybe not even by myself. There may be something else that I need to go to and I have been working with someone who's really helped. And this isn't a road block either for you or for I. It's not the end of any kind of road. It's just a stop. That's all it is. So um, I know that I am preparing for my next calling, which will make this doing this circle kind of seem like a picnic. And I don't really want to say what it is because it's not completely in fruition. Like I've been, Spirit's been preparing me and everything, but it's in development. So it's not related to women's work actually, which was pretty surprising. So I'm clearing out a lot of space, I guess, in my life, both time-wise and emotionally, energetically, to allow this new thing to come into my life that Spirit thinks that I'm ready to start doing. Um, and also, I basically have been called to just be like, okay, you have faith, trust, bam, that's it. So, it's a swift decision. It's an unforeseen decision, but indecisiveness is when it's clear. It's just fighting for control, and I don't really have interest in doing that. I'm not fighting for control here. So, on to the reasons for you. Spirit wants you to know, the universe, Goddess, the moon, they want you to know that your answers have not only been listened to, but they've been answered or will be answered. And the other thing to understand too is that they may not be answered in the way that you would imagine or in a way that seems logical. It may be something that seems completely irrelevant. I know we've all had experiences where it's like, what does this have to do with that? And then later on you go, oh, I needed to learn this in order to do better at that. Keep in mind, answers to your prayers are answered in fashions that are for your higher good. So, some of you might have, like, I know that some of you have had very direct healing experiences within the circle and after you've gone home where things have just, they've been straight on and they've been really obvious. So that's possible as well too. So, the universe encourages you to continue to look for signs, continue to stay open. I mean, that's, it all comes down to having an open heart, developing a trusting, faithful relationship with everything, everything that's connected, the universe, God, whatever you want to, label it as or not. So, keeping your heart open, keeping your mind open, keeping aware to what repeated patterns in your life and repeated signs, maybe a flyer you keep seeing for something that looks interesting to you. All of those are important in order to continue to following your intuition. So, continue to follow and develop your intuition to your next steps. So, now is the time on your part to do some action steps. If you aren't already involved in a different kind of group or in a different kind of practice, or you've been thinking about doing something for a long time and now and that feels in alignment with growth and with Spirit, then now is that time to do that. I mean, this is definitely an action year. It's a big change, big action year. And it's gonna require lots of leaps of faith and also understanding that Spirit will direct you and guide you to what you need next. There's always a next, and it's always for your greater good. And I wanted to put out there as well, because it was a very clear message to me that if you feel called to take over this circle, please say something. So if anybody who's been to the circle maybe hasn't been before but knows that this is something that they've been really wanting to do, please hit me up. I would love to help you get connected with the space, starting resources if you need it. Maybe you don't need anything but just literally for me to just hand it over to you and that's it. And that's totally fine as well. So please, if you feel called, like truly called, please, like let me know, and I want to help you with that. Maybe it's just that I know that I'm not being called to do this work anymore, but that doesn't mean that someone else isn't. And also, it doesn't have to be about this. If you feel like you want to start some kind of a healing circle or classes or workshops of yourself, of other healing modalities or other themes, that you feel really comfortable with, that have been really helpful for you, or even that you just want to learn more about yourself. Teaching is a great way of learning. And, I encourage you to have the courage to do that kind of a thing. I mean, it's not like I really totally knew what I was doing. I just knew that it was something that would be really good for me and for other people. And I had faith that this would happen. And I'm not stupid. And I have I can, I just did it anyway. So, you don't, everybody has something to give. So, and another big thing that was really clear that I want to relay to you from the universe is keep releasing. Release your guilt, release your shame, release whatever those emotions you are holding inside of you. Continue to release them. We've done that every circle. It was the key point of every circle. Do it at home alone. Do it with a friend. Do it with a sister. Do it with another group, another women's circle. But continue to release. Don't stop doing it now. And if you need any more advice on how to do that, please let me know. But there's, continue to do that. And talking about releasing, keep in mind that this is a decision based on the wisdom as a whole. Therefore, we must release attachment. I mean, life is just continually releasing attachment. We love, we release. We love it, we release it. Attachment is something that grows through love, but it isn't love itself. So as much as I feel attached to the circle, and as much as you may have developed some kind of attachment to the circle or to myself, please understand, the work has been done within that circle, and it's okay. It's totally okay. And I ask for you to allow me for it to be okay. Because, there's going to be that voice in the back of my head that's going to be like, am I doing the right thing? But I'm following the lead. I ask you to do the same as well. Spirit will continue to guide you, and, there's not one plan. There's not one road. I mean, I used to really believe that it was like, okay, so obviously I'm a musician, I'm an artist, I'm also an entrepreneur, whatever. So that means I must be a professional musician, blah, blah. And, how did other people do it? No, like, you can be many different things within one lifetime. You can pursue many different interests within one lifetime. I really believe that our society puts a pressure on us as an indicator of success to be known very well for this one thing and be the best at it. And while for some people that works very well, I don't think that works as the whole a lot of times. So, allow yourself to explore different paths. And if you run into a dead end, you just take a left or you take a right and you keep going, okay? And let's see. Just keep looking for clues and signs, and find what feels in alignment with spirit and feel what your heart is calling to. So, if you have any further questions, if you want any further resources, I have a lot of stuff written up and saved from past circles, exercises and, the whole thing. So if you need anything, please hit me up. I'm more than happy to send you some stuff. And also I'm saying at the same time that, maybe it's time for me to stop this right now, but I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months, and I want to point out too that with these cards, I don't actually do pure divination. I don't talk about future ever with spirit, because I know every decision I make every second of the day changes what the future is. I talk about now, what's needed now, what's useful, and what I should be doing. So understand that this message is the message of now. And if at any point I'm asked to come back and to step into this role, I will be glad to do it, and I'll be here for you. And I really, really want to thank you for, all the love that you've shown in the circle. I mean, I really couldn't have asked for anything more. Just heart opening. It's been one of the best experiences of my life to really progress as a soul on this planet. So I want to thank you for that. Namaste.